It's your daily dose of Donna. Happy Friday. We've made it to Friday. It's Friday, June 28th. I'm a couple minutes late because I had to finish watching Love Island since I didn't watch it because I spent the night watching the debates with you guys. I know everyone, almost everyone in my DMs was watching it. Who knew we were going to get to a place in our lives that this is going to be our options for running our country? But let's talk about something else because this is a fun show. On Patreon, you will get more of my political feelings and more of my reaction to everything. I'll release an episode this weekend. But I just finished watching Love Island. Guys, we've officially seen a couple going from love to one of them calling the other one batshit crazy, which is never a good sign. Then we're going to, of course, talk about Bethenny's ex-fiancé has moved on. I don't know what is going to happen to Bethenny. We're going to have to watch her really, really well and very close. And someone, if you're in the Hamptons or anywhere near her, someone go close to her with a lot of crab, a lot of cottage cheese and some hot sauce. Like, someone get close to her and make sure she's okay. And then we're going to talk about a few other things that are happening in the news today on Friday's special episode of Daily Dose of Donna. Okay, thank you guys so much. I just realized I'm looking in the camera. Forgot to put on some sort of like a powder today. I'm very shiny, very shiny. I'm also fresh off a Botox appointment. Yes, that's right. This isn't natural, the no wrinkle face, although still it's there. It takes about 2 weeks or about a week for it to really get in there. I go once every I try to stretch it to like 5 months, but it's definitely a stretch. And I started to notice with my rogue eyebrow. I have a rogue eyebrow. Does anyone here have a rogue eyebrow on their face? Before I started getting Botox, I was like, something's got to change because every time I would smile, I wonder if you can still see it now, but if I smile, yeah. See? It's like doo-doo. And listen, I love Sobbin' Robin, but I ain't trying to be Sobbin' Robin. Okay? Sobbin' Robin would look amazing if she just got herself a little bit of an appointment somewhere. Now we will talk about so much. Did you guys see on my Instagram stories how I think I saw Lamar Odom yesterday when I was driving? Maybe I can pull up the video for you guys. Lamar Odom, obviously mostly known as a basketball player, but ex-husband of what's her name? Khloe Kardashian. And he also obviously had a very, very, very tragic few years with drugs and whatever. But I was driving in Sherman Oaks area and I saw, check it out. Do you think that that's Lamar Odom? I'm going as close as I can to the screen. Obviously, if you watch on the Instagram story, you'll see a clearer version. I think it was. Last night feels like a blur. It really does. Because I went to Crumble Cookies. I got myself some Crumble Cookies for the debate. Did anyone else feel like you needed to reward yourself or treat yourself to get through those couple hours? Got some Crumble Cookies. The kids and I got home. Lance was there. And Oliver had no interest, but Dylan's very interested in the debate and all of that. And we started watching it. And like, it's not a joke. I mean, I'm not a political podcast, like I've said. I will talk about things that are really important to me. When I tell you, I felt like I was watching the whole thing, like covering my eyes with a pillow. Have you ever, you know what I'm talking about? Like I can't watch like this. This is how I was watching the debate. It was so incredible to think about that this was our lives. But you know what? Like I said, on Patreon this weekend, I'm going to go into what I think. There is a potential rumor that Joe Biden this was a plan of some sort to show Joe Biden's decline. Obviously, I feel so bad for this man. I feel so bad for I think we can all agree, if you watched any of the debate, that his performance was really it was sad to watch. I mean, there's no other description of that. Not even in getting into his policy. It's just how he is, his health. It was actually really sad. He is, if they pull him and then they end up replacing him with another nominee, which it sounds like they will, or all signs are pointing to that, although he's still on the campaign trail this morning and saying, like, you can't judge my debate performance, da da da. But I don't know, guys. We're coming in on a crazy few months. That's all I know about this. And yes, this is not a political show, but I interviewed Daniel Ryan Spalding yesterday. I had a great conversation with him. I'm going to release the episode tomorrow. Daniel Ryan Spalding is he's a comedian who he calls himself a power gay who's out to save the Western civilization. And he went viral on Instagram this year, or at the end of last year after October 7th. He's not Jewish, but he really, really speaks for, the hypocrisies of what's going on out there. I really love him. I think he's well spoken. I think he doesn't give a F about what he has to say. And I have a platform, so I'm going to use it. But it's going to be a special Saturday episode. So if you are interested in watching our conversation just about what's happening in the world, what's happening with all the protests, what does it really mean? What is the real issues, democracy, Western civilization, Iran, like all of that stuff. We do talk about all of that with a little bit of a Bravo interchange, because what's so cool about it is Daniel knows my show. He watches Daily Dose of Donna, and he's like, I love you. I love Heather McDonald. And I was like, okay, she blocked me, but we had a great conversation, and that will be released tomorrow on a special Saturday episode of Daily Dose of Donna. So you'll get 6 episodes this week. He's very, very entertaining, very smart. And what was so cool about it is my son, Dylan, really looks up to him and got to come in here and chat with him for just a bit and ask him some questions, which was really cute. I don't know if I'll air that because I don't. It's already a little bit tricky when you talk about things like this. Obviously, there's a lot of people out there that feel very strongly, and a lot of maybe negativity can come our way. And I don't want to include my son ever in that. That is something I don't want to include. But it's actually going to be really good. You guys will love the episode. Okay. What Bravo star? This was asked on my Facebook group this morning. This is a great, just a ponder. What Bravo star do you believe would be the best option for the president of the United States? Okay. Has to be a star, has to be a reality TV star on Bravo. Go for it. Have at it. I mean, at this point, you never know. One of them are going to be better. You guys are going to laugh when you think about who I said first off. I thought, who is successful? Who is, can get what they want? Who knows how to negotiate? Who knows how to do deals? Who knows how to I went straight to Josh Flagg. Is that nuts? Like, I'm questioning myself now because he also doesn't like to get out of bed before noon. But for some reason, I feel like if I wanted to pick someone off Bravo to be a president, I'd want them to be like on their shit successful and like understand how to do business. And also, coherent in some capacity. LVP. Brian says Bethenny Frankel. LOL. Nicole from Miami Housewives. I love her so much, but President LVP is mentioned a few times. Paige, oh my gosh, we couldn't. You guys, Kyle Cook, Lori, you want Kyle Cook with his partying until 4 a.m. situation? You want him to run our country? We got a Jeff Lewis. We got a Ryan Serhant. See, that real estate world. I feel like a real estate person could really be in there. Heather Dubrow. LVP can't. She's British. Well, at this point, you never know. Phaedra. Phaedra would be really fun. Phaedra would be like, Fergalicious is my VP. I love Phaedra. Speaking of, we are going to get $1 million listing so soon. 2 weeks, I think, around that. What's up, Vicente? He's arrived. And we're also going to get OC. And then I did see something someone posted, Lourdes posted in the Facebook group about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City will probably be back August/September. So it's coming, you guys. It's coming. We're gonna get it. We're getting these shows. Now, meanwhile, there's great shows on Netflix. For example, I talked about it yesterday, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. That's a good watch. I haven't been able to watch more since yesterday because of everything that was on last night. And Ryan Serhant's new show just dropped today, according to Andrew, on Netflix. So what is that show called? Like, is it Owning Manhattan? Something like that, right? I love a good real estate show. I never watched $1 Million Listing New York, though. I never did. Is that something I should be watching? It's no longer on, but I know that had Ryan Serhant. It had that guy Frederick that did that short-lived show with Bethenny. Like, what happened to that? Do you think Bethenny and Frederick are still friends? Okay, Clipped on Hulu is so good. Kim says, I hear that. I hear Clipped is really good. Lance and I finally started watching The Bear. Super excited about that. Oh, Wanda gifted a Daily Dose of Donna membership, so I don't know who's actually gonna get that. Maybe it says on the YouTube page, but I don't see it from here. But that is so exciting and so sweet. Thank you, Wanda Lee. You guys, we have almost 50 members on the YouTube channel, so we'll be continuing to do more and more members only. So yes, we watched 2 episodes of The Bear. It was really good, but I had to fall asleep. And then I went to Love Island this morning to kind of cleanse the palate. We'll talk a little bit about Love Island today because Andrew got it. Andrew, you're a member now. Welcome to the club, even though you didn't buy it yourself. Never forget. Hashtag never forget. What I will never forget is Just Meets. Again, last night, in a pinch, came home at 6:00. Debate was on. Lance is sitting on the couch. Hello? Did you not start dinner? I asked him. He said, I figured you were going to make dinner. I said, don't I do enough? And he said, yes, but can you also do dinner? I said, what am I going to make? But alas, I did have a smoked Texas brisket from Just Meat sitting in the fridge, ready for me to heat it up. Big chunks of brisket meat, taste to perfection, no seasoning needed whatsoever. Put it into the pan, heated it up, and then added it to a really yummy Greek salad. So we had a beautiful smoked brisket green salad. It was a wonderful dinner, easy, and by 6:20 we were eating. It's the best option for those of you that are meat eaters that like chicken, pork, beef, etc. Get over to Just Meats and use the code Donna DANA B50 Donna B50, and you can get 50% off your next order. Okay, now we're going to get into the stories. Let's start by talking about Bethenny Frankel. Why not? This is a story that I think we're all kind of interested in. As you guys know, Bethenny had a fiance, Paul Bernon. This is a producer. He's been around for a long time in her life. I think they've been together like maybe 6 years. I could be wrong. A little bit interested by their relationship because they don't really have what seems to be they didn't really have what seems to be like a very public showing of love. He seemed very quiet. He seemed kind of like, just kind of like into his own life. But and she's become so vocal and so all over social media. So in the last few months, everyone's been saying, what is going on with Paul and Bethenny? Are they actually still together? Are they still together? And sure enough, she did announce that she and Paul had ended their engagement. We don't know specifically what happened. We don't know when it happened. I think it was a little bit before her mom passed away. probably 2 months ago. Now, meanwhile, Dumois had received some tips the beginning of June, like around June 1st, 2nd, saying, Paul, I saw Paul making out lovey-dovey with another woman. And so everyone was kind of, interested in what is actually going on. Then we found out for sure that their engagement was over. And now pictures have been released. He has seemingly moved on, spotted making out with Aurora Culpo, who is Olivia Culpo's older sister, at the Quinn House in Boston, according to a Dumois source. Really fast before we continue, Laura, thank you for the super sticker. What a mensch. What a mensch. Thank you. Starbucks coffee because of you. I appreciate you. You're the best. So additionally, in photos obtained by Dumois, the potential new couple could be sitting next to each other on a boat cruise along the coast of Rhode Island, where Olivia is going to be celebrating her wedding to San Francisco 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey. Now, Olivia Culpo is this like gorgeous model influencer. The Culpo sisters are just all beautiful. Aurora is 35 years old, which I think is a really good match. She's not too young or too, off in terms of a connection to Paul. I think that's so cute. And they were chatting in a parking lot. Bernon looked serious with his arms crossed, but Aurora smiled at him while they spoke. They were dressed very smartly for the outing. He sported navy shorts and a baby blue polo. And she, the content creator, rocked a floral print baby doll sundress. My Kelly. You guys, Kelly, thank you for the super sticker. Kelly and I have spent multiple times in person together. Kelly and I partied together in Vegas at the Four Seasons, the night of the BravoCon, seeing all the housewives. That was so fun. And then we also hung out at the Jeff Lewis live show. And there was another night you and I met. And now I can't remember when it was. Where were we when we met the other time? Oh, we were at Amy Phillips' show when Amy Phillips did her show with Stu months and months and months ago. Like those were the days, right? Thanks, Jane, for becoming a member. So exciting, you guys. Today's so fun. Today's just like a party. So. Okay. Meanwhile, they are clearly together. He is at a wedding with her for her sister. This is a serious relationship. I don't think you bring a date to a wedding unless you guys like really are serious together. So what do you think is actually happening there? Do you think they're actually serious? Do you think? But what was interesting is the pictures that I found. I found 2 pictures of Bethenny. They're actually the cover photo for this. It's the picture of Bethenny on a boat with Jason. And let me see if I can find it while we're talking. Bethenny with Paul, sorry, not Jason. Oh my God. Jason Hoppy's back. And then it was a picture of him on the boat with Olivia. And to me, it was really like, it was very indicative just of energies. Now, of course, it could have just been a random picture, a paparazzi picture, but Bethenny just did not look, he just didn't look as happy in this picture as he does with Olivia. Now, like I said, this could just be, I'll show you guys the picture right now. This could just be a random picture. Welcome, Brian Scott Patterson, new member. I'm going to pull it up for you guys to see on Radar Online. Okay, let's find Paul. This is Paul and Bethenny walking. Oh, she's filming. She's filming. She's TikToking, everyone. She just looks angry. She has like a perma frown. Look at his face. Am I crazy to think that he probably struggled for years? Does that mean? The thing that I'm wondering is I feel like Bethenny is probably so entertaining. Remember we talked about this the other day that she's doing this dating podcast. I think Bethenny can bag the guys. She can get the guys easily because she's so funny, because she's so witty, because she's easy to talk to, right? Like on a first date. A lot of men like that, you know? You go on a first date and you can go back and forth and there's no awkward silences and it's like, it's fun. But then I think the more you kind of get into it is when you realize, like, wow, I'm not really sure this is gonna, like, it just feels like a lot. I'm sure Paul is enjoying the silence. Now, the question is, what are we going to get from Bethenny in return? Is she going to approach it? Is she going to talk about it? She has to talk about it. She doesn't not talk about anything. We know everything about everything. So it'd be weird if she all of a sudden didn't talk about it at all. Let's hope that she talks about it on her podcast. I would love an entire episode on why Bethenny and Paul broke up. Do we have, like, aren't you guys interested? That I want to know. I want to know why they broke up. A lot of people are saying, that he broke up with her, he dumped her. She did say on her dating podcast she doesn't get dumped. Did you hear that? Remember on the clip? She was like, no one dumps me. No one cheats on me. So I guess she walks off from them. I don't know. Now, a lot of you guys are asking me about my shirt right now. I'm going to give you a little outfit click because, oh my God, I'm dying right now. Andrew, you did not. Andrew just gifted 10 Daily Dose of Donna memberships. Stop it right now. Andrew, what are you doing tonight? Can you come on a date with Lance and I, please? I love you. What a sweetie. So this outfit is Zara. I'll stand up. I matched my background. It's like a little, let me remove this. It's a skirt. Thank you, Zara. Yeah, he has a new name. His name is Sugar Daddy Andrew. We love Andrew. You guys, Fridays are always unhinged on the show, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm obsessed with you guys. I love the camaraderie that we have here. If you're only listening to the podcast and not watching on YouTube, I want you to know I hear you guys too. I see you too out there. I know that if you're in this community, you're just as nuts as every single one that's here that's chatting live. And yes, I'm going to say it with honesty. I think that every single one of us has a level of unhinged because you wouldn't be here if not, right? I think you have to have the ability to laugh at yourself. I think you have to have the ability to not take life so seriously. I think you have to have the ability to give people, to be critical thinking and just kind of like enjoy life a little bit more. This is a daily dose. These are the values of Daily Dose of Donna. These are the non-negotiables, like on the bear. You know how he wrote out the non-negotiables? I'm going to put a list, non-negotiables of being watching Daily Dose of Donna. Number 1, lighten the F up. That's the number 1 negotiable. Let's get into our next story. The D'Amelios was canceled. They're after the 3rd season on Hulu. Hold on, I'm waiting for you guys to start being sad. Uh, uh, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. Yeah, it's not going to happen. You're not going to be sad because I'm actually grateful. The D'Amelios it sucked me in because I had no choice. I promised you I would watch it. I watched the 2 seasons back to back. It never ended. I felt like I was getting my hair pulled individually by tweezers, like every 6 minutes of watching the D'Amelios. When I tell you, these are 2 people, and I'm going to say something that is probably not going to be incredibly popular, especially if you're a D'Amelio fan. But I cannot personally understand how these girls are famous. Some music that they've released is actually really good. And I do think that Charlie D'Amelio, the younger sister who got really, really famous off TikTok, I think she's an incredible dancer. But other than that, it is absolutely confusing to me how these women, now they're women, are famous. Like it's very confusing. The reality show followed TikTok stars Charlie and her sister Dixie as they navigated their lives, ranging from family drama to health scares. They also have their parents, Heidi and Mark, who were a big part of the reality show, not just because they're so involved in their kids' lives, like they're the managers and they do everything basically for their kids. But then they started to open up about their own marriage issues on the show. Um, the mom and Charlie competed against each other on Dancing with the Stars, and, so maybe you remember that, which is also a really weird dynamic. Charlie ended up, of course, taking the gold during that time. An insider insisted the decision was made mutual between the family and Hulu, meaning the family actually chose also to walk away from this. I would like to say probably pretty strongly that I think most people I don't think a lot of people were tuning into the show. I think this was trying to be like the Kardashians, and I just don't know if they had it. Like, I kind of slowed down on the Kardashians. I used to love watching the Kardashians, but I started watching it yesterday, and because I was just sitting in the car for a while when I was waiting, and the Kardashians is one of those things that no matter how, insufferable or annoying some of them can be, it's still, to me, fascinating to watch their lives. They're dynamic characters. I feel like Kim Kardashian's interesting to me. Khloe is interesting to me. Kylie's interesting to me. Kendall and Courtney, eh. I like Kris Jenner. Like, into the stories, and I love seeing the insane, massive wealth. And I think what was happening with the Charlie and Heidi, the D'Amelios, is that show is so depressing. It's not inspirational. It's not aspirational. It doesn't give you kind of like, oh my gosh, look at this incredible life that you can get if you just work hard and become a celebrity, like, whatever. It's truthfully, um, it's depressing because what was happening was that the show was focusing so heavily on their mental health, and it was bad mental health, you guys, like severe depression, anxiety. Dixie, the older sister, had something in the level of, I can't remember the name of it, but it was something about like a menstrual disorder, a PMS disorder, that it was so intense. Her PMS, like the weeks before she got her period, the week or two before she got her period, she was like in a severe depression, like severe, like couldn't get out of bed, crying all day, can't eat type of stuff. This is not what people want in their lives. It's really hard to see two incredibly wealthy, successful young girls just sit and cry all day long about how unhappy they are. And that is why I'm convinced that Hulu did not want to pick them up, because I can't imagine the D'Amelios turning it down. There's no way. So I think it was canceled. Now, on the Kardashians, they know how to have fun still. I think the Kardashians, even though, yes, they do get upset sometimes with what people are saying about them, and yes, they go through struggles, etc. But in general, I think they've been doing this for so long that they're almost immune. Like, the muscle and the skin is so thick against the haters that it's very, very rare for them to be taken down mentally and emotionally from people around them. Um, Samurai's mom says, "Ugh, the PMS was part of the show." Yeah, the PMS, the PMDD, that's what it's called, was like the main character of the show. It was really wild to watch. Anyway, I'm really happy that that's gone. I'm okay with it. I'll survive. And I'm wondering, like, are they even that successful anymore or famous? Like, Sabrina Carpenter is all the rage, right? Wouldn't you say Sabrina Carpenter is all the rage right now with the young kids? Olivia Rodrigo, of course, we still got the Swifties going strong. All I want to do is go see Pink. If Pink comes to LA, I don't know when she is, but I need to go. I need to go. Andrew, what is happening? He gifted another 5 Daily Dose of Donna memberships. Andrew, are you trying to get laid? Are you trying to like find a lover? It may happen. It may happen because you know what? Times are tough out there. I watched the debate, okay? Inflation is crazy. This was insane of you to do, Andrew. He just bought 15 Daily Dose of Donna memberships. He's Oprah. You get a membership. No, you get a You guys, all of you get a membership. Wow. Love you. Okay, Santa Claus. He is Santa. Let's call him Andrew Claus. All right. Love Island. Let's talk about Love Island for a second. Love Island is the gift that keeps on giving. If you aren't watching Love Island, I won't give like I won't do a detailed recap, but I'm going to give you a little gist of a story. We talked about it when I introduced the show. There's Leah and Rob. Rob is a snake charmer, snake hunter. I mean, a snake guy. He's a snake guy. This is why I love my audience. Andrew just said, I am a ho, ho, ho. Ah. You are a ho, ho, ho. So on Love Island, there's this couple that started off the show, Leah and Rob. Rob is the snake charmer from like the South somewhere, maybe, I don't know, I don't remember specifically where. And Leah is a rich Persian 20-something-year-old from Calabasas. So if you can imagine, Rob is like the most opposite person to dating a Kardashian. Now, I don't think Leah is a Kardashian financially, but she's got that energy. She's Persian. She probably drives a really nice car. You can tell, I think she's gotten a little bit of some work done on her face. She has a little bit of a bougie attitude. But the two of them start hooking up right off the bat. They really like each other, and they're actually like massively into each other and making out and in love. And then all of a sudden, things change because they bring new bombshells to the building, to the villa. And that was about a week ago. And they brought one girl. Her name was Andrea. And this Andrea was the Latin, beautiful blonde from Miami. And she had a great body and she had a great personality. I guess I couldn't really read her, but she went straight to Rob. She wanted Rob. She set her sights on Rob, and Rob was like, a girl wants me. Bye, Leah. He ran so fast from Leah. It was so shitty. He dropped Leah like Andrew drops memberships. Okay. Bye, Leah. And all of a sudden he decides to choose Andrea, and they're standing there around the fire pit and they're looking at Leah, and she mouths the words F you. And he goes, huh? And she goes, fuck you. And it was the best. This was last week on Love Island. We were all like, that was how the week ended. Now, this week, of course, we've had some shifts in the villa because all of a sudden they decided to take the weakest links. America voted on their 5 strongest couples, and the 3 men and 3 girls who were not part of that stood in front of the fire pit, and the girls had to vote out one of those girls. And guess what? They voted out Andrea, Rob's new girl, because the girls had Leah's back, and Leah still was obsessed with Rob. Meanwhile, she's hooking up with Connor. Connor is like Mario Lopez, if you think about it, like he's if Mario Lopez and Zach Morris, AC Slater and Zach Morris had a baby. Okay. He's like all American, but he's got muscles. He's like a meathead, but he's nice, but he's a meathead. So they start kind of having some sort of a thing. Leah pretends that she's really into him, but it's so obvious that she's just running to him because she feels so sad that her snaked away, right? He snaked away. And so they get Andrea out. And the second Andrea's out, what do you think Leah's doing? She's back to the snake. I wonder if I can get the snake, right? She goes back to Rob. But now things are shifting because, as you know, when you speak and talk shit about people on these shows, it all gets found back out. So at the end of last night's episode, we had our first girl on girl fight in the Love Island villa this season. No actual physicality yet. But what we saw was Liv, one of the girls, and Leah going at it because Rob, snaky snake, went to Leah and said, I heard you have been talking shit about me. I heard you were talking shit about my girl, and you were behind getting her out of here. And Leah is like, oh, does that mean he doesn't like me anymore? Because that the entire time Leah was like, but I love him. Rob, I love him. I love him. So anyway, the point is, it's a great show. And if you're not watching it, you still have time to catch up because it will go like this. You can watch all weekend long. Even Danny Pellegrino wrote on his Twitter the other day, everyone's talking about Love Island. Does this mean I have to actually binge? And I say yes. I say if you are listening to this show right now and you trust my judgment when it comes to what I like on TV and what I don't, I would, in fact, watch Love Island. It goes fast. You don't have to pay that much attention. It could be like a background show. The first couple of episodes are going to make you question your intelligence. In fact, many of the episodes will make you question your intelligence. But isn't that just like what we like right now? Light, easy, fun, making out, champagne, dance parties, pool parties, random challenges, lots of tongue kissing. I mean, it's exactly what we need. After last night's horrendous like shitstorm of a debate, I just want light and fun. I want light. I want funny. I want happy. I don't know if I can do another Perfect Wife type of Sherry Papini documentary. I just want people like living in La La Land, and that is Love Island. And Peacock's not even paying me to say this. Okay. Where are we? And the house is gorgeous, the villa. Well, they built that villa just for this, you know? Funny story, Lance worked on Love Island during COVID. He worked in when they did it out of Santa Barbara. I didn't watch that season. I think it was probably 2 seasons ago, but he worked out of Santa Barbara. I'm sorry, he worked out of Los Angeles, even though the house was in Santa Barbara, because Lance is a camera, and he was like doing the robocams. And that show, Love Island, is all robocams, right? There's no actual cameras or cameramen walking around on that show. It's like Big Brother-ish. Just tons of cameras all around and everywhere you look. Everywhere you look. We watch Full House every night, me and my fam. Okay. Michelle says it's a much easier watch than MILF Manor, which I don't watch, and I'm actually okay with it. I'm okay with it that I don't watch it. I think in general, I think that, we've got to be kind on our hearts, on our minds. We have to be good to ourselves. Things are really, really tricky out there. I think things are really volatile. And when you listen to Daniel Spalding on tomorrow's episode, I think you're going to hear a lot of, how this is all kind of made for Americans to go after each other like this. And I don't know about where you live. I'm assuming this is in everyone's country. It's this way. Like in social media, I think helps to do this. And of course, it's an election year. And I think we're all so incredibly at odds that anything to unify us would be amazing, which is why I feel like unifying like Love Island, like Love Island maybe can save the world. What else were we all unified by? I think Scandival unified the entire world. Like everyone was against Tom Sandoval. That was fun. Speaking of today we have the Karen Reed jury has just come out because I did some recon, and I'm not a legal expert. I don't dare to pretend that I know all the ins and outs of this trial, although you guys have sent me some really interesting DMs of stuff. But I just saw that the jury is I think they call it a deadlock. Is it a deadlock? They cannot come to a conclusion in the answer. They've already done 3 days of deliberations, and now they have to go back to the drawing board, which is just crazy because I've just seen like some of the things here that Emily D. Baker is posting on YouTube. And to me, I'm so like shocked that that's even a deadlock. I don't understand it because to me, from what I've seen, it seems so obvious that there's not enough evidence to convict Karen Reed in murder. But that's just my opinion from what I've seen, just like here and there a little bit. But I don't personally understand why it's so difficult. And I wonder if you're on the stand, if you're on trial and the jury is taking so long to deliberate, is that a positive or is that a negative? Because I don't actually know what is better. This is a funny story. Jess Josh says, I saw Carol Baskin in Costco. When we were on Clubhouse, those of you that were Clubhouse people, I know some of you guys were here on Clubhouse. I would do rooms and Carol Baskin would pop in and talk in my rooms all the time. The fact that Carol Baskin was like hanging out in Clubhouse. It's mind-blowing. Now, Carol Baskin also did Dancing with the Stars for a quick second, didn't she? I remember that. Lance was on that one. When are we getting our Dancing with the Stars answers? You guys want to see something kind of funny? Something kind of cute. So Lance in his building at F22 Studios. So he works at F22. He doesn't work there. It's his company, F22 Studios. It's in Burbank. And the location of his studio is exactly where they did a clip of Back to the Future, the beginning of Back to the Future, when Marty McFly is behind a pickup truck coming out of like Burger King and Carl's Jr. and making a left turn on the street. It's during the main, song, Don't Need Money, Don't Need Much, Don't Need a Ticket, whatever. Anyway, because of that location and the storefront of F22 Studios was in that movie, they've decided to make one of their stages in their building the Doc McFly. I think they call it the Doc. I can't remember, something Doc McFly. It's very Back to the Future themed, the whole studio. They have a big mural on it. They have like memorabilia from Back to the Future. It's really cool. So a company that owns a DeLorean from Back to the Future, like it's all done up like the actual DeLorean, and they rent it out, asked to film something in their studios. So let me show you. This is kind of just fun to watch. Their Instagram is Back to the Future IG. I'm going to share it with you guys. And this is, so he owns this DeLorean. So this video when they were on the stages at F22, which is really cool. I just think like DeLorean, the whole thing. And then they recreated the scene of him coming out of the Burger King. So watch this. I thought that was just like a fun little Hollywood tidbit. Hollywood tidbit. All right, you guys, I love hanging out with you and just chatting. I could do this forever. But it's Friday and I've got to go return clothes to Zara because I did a whole haul, which I will be posting later on socials. And I do have to return some of the things because I don't know about you, but my ass at this age, great ass. Just kidding. Great. I'm proud of my body, but my ass should probably not be out of my shorts when I'm going to, baseball as a mom. Those of you that know, I don't want my ass out. Like at some point we have to cover the butt, right? So got to go to Zara and do a nice little return. Have an amazing weekend. I love you guys. Tune in tomorrow for Daniel Spalding's interview. And also, Andrew, thank you for gifting all those memberships, and Wanda as well. You guys are the best. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, dosers.